Hey everyone, welcome. It's Kenlyn, and this is your full moon activation for the full moon in Libra, April 5th and 6th. So we're gearing up. I'm doing this recording on April 2nd, and we're in Gene Key 21. The sun is in Gene Key 21, and it's opposite the programming partner of Gene Key 48. So that would be kicking up this feeling of inadequacy. I definitely got triggered on that this week. And the shadow frequency over here of control. Isn't that interesting? So a lot of the underneath our control is this feeling of being inadequate. I would say of not being seen, of our love not being enough. And those are like interesting themes to presence around the full moon in Libra, because Libra is about our relationship with others. It's on the axis with Aries being this I am, and Libra being like we are. And so something in your reality is about your relationship with other people that's needing a course correction. It's needing an adjustment. And this is a perfect time to do it because this full moon finds itself right in the middle of what we just went through, the equinox, the new moon, and in March, and that was like freaking intense. March was just cataclysmic. It was major change got initiated that's going to last us for the next 20 years. And in 2 weeks, we're experiencing the next new moon, which is also in Aries, a double new moon in Aries. It's called a black moon and a solar eclipse. So instead of that new moon being about calling in and intentions, this new moon is about another release. And we're going into a wormhole. I love Michael Lennox. He said, I don't think he coined it, but he's my astrologer, and he talks about the times between eclipses being wormholes, and they're really reboots in consciousness. And so we're being asked to go deeply inward. And this is like one layer that gets to get peeled off before you go inward. And so the way that I contextualize it, and to me, there's not a right or wrong because every astrologer has their own point of view. It's really to create a powerful context for your life so that you can let go of what needs to be let go of and step into the fullness, the authentic fullness of who and what you really are. That's what we're here to do at Earth School. So if you haven't downloaded my PDF, you can go to my website, evolvingsisters.com, and download a 28-page PDF about the moon cycles. I highly encourage it. It's totally free, but it allows you to see when the full and new moons are, and also what houses they're in. It gives you a keynote, so like a bit of a prompt. And in that keynote, I took into account like the bigger astrology, not just where that moon is. And then I prompt you for a release statement for the full moon and an intention statement for the new moon. It's just such a beautiful guide for how we can, as feminine leaders, that's my intention, how we can embody the cycles of the moon. And therefore, we're getting alongside of the natural current of life rather than forcing our way through anything. So back to this full moon in Libra, it's a marvelous opportunity in between two like epic events. And also Pluto is squaring the nodes of the moon, the nodes of fate. So we are in a very intense time. And trust that intensity is here for you, not against you. It's for you to become, as I said, more of who you are. And so we have to shed a lot of the not self. We have to shed a lot of the conditioning. And so some of us might really get related to what are the conditioned patterns that right now, not that I can have to guess, just right now are showing up in my life. So find out where Aries is in your chart, find out where Libra is in your chart, and you'll get a little bit better idea. And use whole house astrology because it doesn't matter if you have a planet in there. The house itself is run by that sign. And so you'll have an idea of how the energies might be working. And sometimes they're just not on the nose, they're subtle. they're tectonic. Anything that operates below a level of consciousness on your subconscious is really the ruler, right? It's the thing moving all the things up top. So instead of addressing symptoms, let's go to some roots. And some of the roots might be fear of loss. And so we act a certain way. We control because we're afraid. It could be codependent patterns, like I give in and I don't speak up because I'm afraid. But then that causes a lot of chaos and it causes a lot of drama in the space. It could be that I'm overextended, I'm overreaching. It could be like a work pattern that you're overworking or you're underworking. You're not living up to your potential because some part of you is afraid of something. Maybe you're afraid of your success. Maybe you're afraid of what other people will say about you. Some way this is related to what other people are reflecting back to you, or your fear about what other people will reflect back to you, as that's part of Libra, the mirrored consciousness. If you're part of my video series with the PDF, you're going to get a mudra to work with this reflected mirrored consciousness. I like to say that, the world is our hologram. Anytime we think someone else is doing something, chances are we're actually doing it. My mom and I had a conversation the other day about this because she was saying that I was doing something and I was like, do you see that you're doing it too, but in a different way? And so we had to laugh, actually, that we both are saying the same thing about each other when it's really over here. And so thankfully, we can have these kind of honest conversations, which is a very full moon in Libra conversation, because it's about our relating. How are we going to relate to each other? And at the end of the day, we both said it's about acceptance. It's about love. It's about how we can just meet each other where we're at without trying to change each other. Isn't that a novel one? Because anytime we're trying to change someone, we're really trying to assuage a part of ourselves. We're trying to make ourselves feel safe. And then the other person doesn't feel safe. And now we don't feel safe because they don't feel safe. And it's a whole tectonic instability that we've created. But really, we can give it to ourselves. That's the power that we have. And that's the beauty of the full moon lighting it up for you so that you can see what before was maybe unconscious and now has been made conscious. So have a beautiful full moon ceremony under just the lunation of a bright Libra moon. And may you release anything that needs and wants to go for your wholeness, for your integration, and for your authentic beingness in the world. Lots of love.